So today we're talking about this camera here. It's the DJI Action 5 Pro. And I know there's tons of videos out on YouTube right now talking about this thing, but what I wanted to discuss is if you were to buy this camera and not put a memory card in it, just use the 47 gigs of internal memory and just go out and shoot with the one battery that it comes with, how much could you shoot? And I was pleasantly surprised. So here's the TLDR, is that you can shoot a little more than an hour, maybe an hour, 5 hour, 10 minutes of footage and have plenty battery left as well. Because at the end of the day, I'm actually shot into the evening and I still had about 20% left of battery on this thing. It dawned on me that, like, you know, when I say, like, I think I can get through a whole day of shooting with the 47 gigs of internal memory. I don't know how you shoot with action cameras, but for me, like, I'm just taking clips here and there. Maybe the longest clips are gonna be these where, like, I'm talking to the camera. But for the most part, I have the camera turned off, and then when I wanna get a shot, I use the quick shot method of just hitting the record button and the camera turns on and starts recording immediately. I find that that's the most, like, economical for the battery life and also the quickest way to get shots in the moment, and you're not really thinking about it too much. In the next video on this camera, I'll go over like the custom presets that make life so much easier shooting with these action cameras. So super night mode is fine on the Action 5 Pro if you're kind of pointing it away from yourself, trying to get like a cityscape or some cars or some neon lights and stuff. But as soon as you flip this thing around and start filming your face in low light, it starts to look kind of plasticky, like it's trying to over process your face. So because of that, I can't recommend using super night mode for vlogging on the Action 5 Pro. So compared to the Action 4, the Action 5 Pro, you can use up to ISO 3200, whereas on the Action 4, I wouldn't even think of going over 1600 because it would look way too noisy. But the noise levels up to 3200 on the Action 5 Pro are not bad, actually. Still a little noisy, but okay for my taste. And that could have something to do with the new processor. Because the sensor is the same, it can't be that. Hello? Huh? Yeah? But that's, you know, that's all I'm gonna really say about low light. I mean, I think the subject of low light shooting with action cameras has been beat to death. It's never gonna be great unless the sensor gets bigger. And if the sensor gets bigger, you're gonna lose out on the electronic stabilization and all the benefits that go along with having an action camera. But for the size of the sensor and the processing and everything in here, pretty good up to ISO 3200. Just stick to D-Log-M and grade it yourself. I mean, I think that's all I want to say about the Action 5. I mean, as far as like being a daily driver as a vlog camera, I probably wouldn't use it because I have this ZV-E1 and a Pocket 3, which are much better for, you know, regular everyday shooting. I mean, the image quality on both of those is going to be better than this. But the reason I always keep an action camera is because when you're out with the family or you're out on a trip, sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows, depending on where you're going. And this sometimes is the only camera you can take out in those situations. And so you gotta have something that has decent image quality, more than decent. I mean, the Action 5 Pro has great image quality and it can withstand the elements. So basically I look at action cameras as my backup camera. Not an everyday camera because, like I said, I'd rather use the Pocket 3 or the ZV-E1. But in a pinch, Action 5 Pro. By the way, I bought this, can I put product showcase on while I'm shooting? I cannot put product showcase on while I'm shooting, hang on. I picked up this Amazier, I don't know how to say that. It's a cage because I had a PGY Tech cage for the Action 4 that it was supposed to fit the Action 5 Pro, but it did not. The reason I thought it would fit is because the dimensions of the two cameras are the same, but I feel like the Action 5 Pro has a different texture on the body. And because of that, I guess it's more of a rubberized texture and I couldn't shove it into the PGY Tech cage. So this Amazier cage I just picked up has a little more tolerance for the Action 5 Pro to slide in. I don't know. I like how it looks. It's kind of a matte black. It's a nice matte black finish. It doesn't, I don't know if you can hear this. It doesn't rattle, because even though it has like even though it has this kind of clicky record button and power button on the side here, I don't know if you can hear that. Like they kind of click, they kind of wiggle a little bit. But when you shake the camera, there's no noise. And that's important when you're trying to capture audio. So I guess I should say that I bought the Action 5 Pro with my own money. This is not sponsored. I guess you're supposed to say that. But yeah, I mean, all of the stuff that I have, like my ZV-E1, my Pocket 3, I bought it. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. I don't know if that makes this review more reliable or not reliable, but it is just that. It's just stuff that I buy that I want to talk about. And the Action 5 Pro, it's a little step up from the Action 4. To wrap this up before this video gets too long, there's a few things that I feel like are worth it if you have an Action 4 or Action 3 and you're thinking about upgrading to the Action 5 Pro. Number one, it's being able to use ISO 3200 in low light, especially if you're somebody who likes to shoot in D-Log. Like I said, super night mode in my opinion is trash. I'm not going to be using it, but ISO 3200 versus ISO 1600, I think that's a big deal. The second thing is the extended life battery in this thing. I mean, you could get by with just one battery. I mean, I did buy a second battery, but I haven't ever had a need to use it in any given day. And from what I understand, which I don't know, I've never tested this out, but the new battery doesn't get the same amount of extended life if you put it in the Action 4. So you only get that extended shooting time with the new battery in the Action 5 Pro. Could be something to do with the processor, I'm not sure. And the last thing that makes the Action 5 Pro a worthy upgrade over the Action 4 is that 47 gigs of internal memory. Because like I mentioned earlier in the video, I shot a whole day with it. One battery, no card. But that's all. That's all I'm going to say about the Action 5 Pro. Yeah, I'm recording. Look, my wife's cleaning the bathroom back there. I appreciate that she cleans the bathroom. She said, shut up. But anyway, oh, before I go, this Sony ZV-E1 with the Zeiss 18mm, this is like by far my favorite combination. I've had the ZV-E1 for a while. I never thought about putting this lens on it, and I found one used on mpb.com. I think I was watching Camera Conspiracies and Casey was talking about the 18mm, and it's great. I mean, this is an awesome lens. You can't beat Zeiss, obviously, but you know, it's weather sealed. It's nice and wide. It's pretty lightweight. This is definitely gonna be the camera and lens combo I take on like trips. But I just want to mention that maybe we should start calling it the Camera Conspiracies combo, the ZV-E1 with the 18mm. Look, I can see you. Boogie, come. Hey, bud. What are you doing out here?